Hello! Today I'm going to talk about the terms normal and accessibility. In the readings from this week from Elmore, Melancon, and Zdenek, the most common terms I found were normal and accessibility and how they are defined. However, there cannot be one universal definition for either normal or accessibility because it means something different to each person. There is always someone excluded from the quote-unquote normal, and not everything can be accessible because everyone will always have a different experience. Today I'm going to focus on the Zdenek reading because a quote on page 12 really made a difference in my life. I see you, but you are not significant enough for me to bother. I believe this is a common theme for all people without a disability because it is not part of our everyday thought process. The term accessibility goes hand in hand with normal because people, especially designers, assume every user is young and able-bodied, readily capable of using a specific technology or having full use of their arms and legs. This summer, I was an intern for a nonprofit organization in which our program focuses on teaching children to read. Before they start the program, they must play a game or take a pre-test on the computer to determine where they are in their knowledge of the alphabet, words, and sounds. Using a computer mouse is an essential skill in participating. Traditionally, this is not a problem because children are fast learners and they catch on quickly. However, we had multiple children with disabilities participate, varying from autism to Down syndrome and quadriplegic to ADD. In these cases, a team member would sit and prompt the child to point to an answer in a timely manner. These kinds of disabilities were not common factors designers think about when inventing a new program or technology because they are not directly affected by it. Unless someone has a disability of some kind, they treat disabilities as a non-issue. In class, I was surprised when Jared talked about disabilities with the city department and they had no idea it was even an issue. It's hard to cater to all the different disabilities, therefore designers just cater to their idea of quote-unquote normal. The problem with this, as previously stated, is that someone is always left out. Another example is this Raby West building. This building was designed for able-bodied people to move about as needed. To get anywhere in this building, you must take the stairs, meaning you must have the capacity to use your legs. Therefore, if an unabled body were to have a class in this building, they would have nowhere to go but the first floor. Again, somebody is always excluded from the design because designers cannot cater to everybody. This example is the same as the example in the computer. Now that we know the misconceptions of these terms and that their definitions are lacking, how can we fix it? Can there ever be a time when everything is accessible? Thanks for watching.